that the guy down in Hereford down here?
No, this is a company out of TikTok.
Okay, there are some companies. Are we on? We're on. What are we on? We're out of Bisbee, so God only
I
knows.
thought
what
those
we're
were going
on.
to be your mirrors to check out as well.
Oh yeah, check it down. No, this is the camera action.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, exactly. We're live on YouTube and TikTok and Facebook, and then we're capturing also, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So in case reception is weird, pixelation,
Right.
and so because out here, reception and bumfuck, you never know,
Yeah.
Well, welcome everybody. I'm Reed Booth, Killer Bee Guy, as you well know. Good morning. We have bees. What else? What else are we here? We got Hosh on camera action and Superman status, and we're getting our capes tomorrow. We actually have, Elle in town?
Yeah.
She's making capes for us.
Oh, no kidding.
I mean, with the bee logo on them. This is Mark Appel, old. How do you say your last name?
Apel.
Apel. Yep. I've only known him for 30 years.
Yeah.
So that's why it's still an if.
That's no worries.
No worries. Yeah. Anyways, this guy's more like family to me. I mean, him and his wife, we go back a long, long way. Just old Bisbee stuff.
That's right.
We are so blessed to have been here this long.
Yeah.
I mean, we really are. And so Mark is quite a very interesting and wonderful character. You work for the county.
Yep.
I mean, explain yourself a little bit.
I'm the environmental projects coordinator for the county.
Right.
And work mostly on these recharge projects here in the Upper San Pedro Basin here.
Yeah.
So this place that we're at today is called the Riverstone property. And right now we don't have an active recharge project going on here, but we have a bunch of designs and plans on the drawing board on how we're going to recharge treated effluent into some of the channels on this property that will help support the alluvial aquifer for the San Pedro River and hopefully keep the river flowing.
Yeah, I'll keep the river flowing. This is actually, Mark was just telling me, this is where Carr Canyon and Ramsey Canyon meet.
Yeah.
Huh.
This is
The confluence,
the
right?
confluence.
It's over the hill over here.
Yep.
It's not as impressive as you might think, based on what you know from the
Right.
canyons up
Right.
further up in the mountain.
Yeah.
You'd think there'd be this big, beautiful confluence down there, but it's really
Yeah.
not that impressive.
Lakes or something, and I mean, you'd think it would be, you'd think it'd be a lot more impressive than it is. Of course, most of it goes underground.
But actually, there is a nice stretch of, or it used to be a nice stretch of riparian area along Carr Canyon all the way to the river.
Oh, I didn't
But
know.
this mega drought of the last 23 years has
Yep.
pretty much killed a lot of those cottonwoods
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, oh my goodness.
in Carr Canyon. But the closer you get to the river, the more lush it gets.
Of course.
But on
Yeah.
this part of the reach, it's pretty much dried out.
Dried out. My God.
So our intent is to restore some alluvial flow
Oh, that is so wonderful.
between here and the river so that we could support yellow-billed cuckoo habitat here
Oh, wonderful. Wow.
and keep the stream flows going in the river.
My goodness. Do trogons still make it up this far north?
Oh, sure. Yeah, but they're not usually found in
Down
the
there up in the
lowlands.
mountain.
You find them up in Ramsey Canyon and Garden Canyon.
Yeah, I saw a female up there one time, but when we used to go down to Conche, down to the hot springs,
Mhm.
down there, Randy
Yeah.
and Kathy and all that years
Yeah,
ago, and we'd see trogons,
Yeah.
in the canyons down there. Of course, there's a hot springs way down in old Mexico.
Yeah.
I mean, just remote, holy shit stuff,
Not as remote as you think anymore. That road's fixed.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Beautiful. That road's a joy to ride on.
Oh no! It used to be like
I know,
4x
Pablo
only,
City.
but oh my God! It was classic Mexican bridges. Mexican bridges go under the water,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, right
Concrete,
through the water.
concrete,
It's just right through the water.
right through the water.
Well,
It's
a lot of those crossings are still there. The concrete crossings, the
oh,
bottles.
I remember we had the walk bridge there for the kids to get to school,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that would wash out every year
Yeah,
and all that.
San Felipe there.
Yeah, from San Felipe. Yeah, yeah.
That's still there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. We go way back, everybody. Holy shit! My God. Well, we're here. The Huachucas are behind us. We got the San Pedro River down here, and of course, nobody can do a damn thing because you guys do soundings and water testing in your wellheads.
Right.
Ah, wait a minute. One of those wellheads has bees in it, and so a
That's
couple-
why you're here.
Oh, I thought we were just looking good and shit, which we're good at also. And so we're, that's why we're here. Your guy came down to do the water testing, popped the lid off of the thing and went, not so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
And Mark sent me some pictures and I said, no, not so much here. It looks like beautiful comb, kind of convoluted, built on the side of this, what is it, 8-inch or
Oh, no, I think it's bigger than that. This well's pretty
10 or
big.
12 or...
We'll see it when we get there.
All
I
right,
don't really
yeah,
know
yeah.
exactly.
Well, let's go walk
It's a
down
good
there,
size.
everybody, and go see what's going on. I've never been down in this. Your first time down here, too?
Well, just as a well.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I've been all over the property otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this 1,800 acres is under permanent conservation easement too, so
Oh my God, that's
it won't,
wonderful.
it won't be any more pumping coming from here right now.
Oh my goodness. So 1,800 acres here that the county ended up with, and they're doing this is wonderful thing, restoring
Alluvial.
alluvial, and this is just amazing. But so we're gonna go find out. So the guy that was out here had to leave flags so we could
Yeah.
find out where we're going, or we would have never found it, of course.
So we have these monitoring points all throughout the ranch,
Mm-hmm.
and this is one of the wells that gets monitored every quarter, every 3 months, and gives us an idea what the water levels are doing on this property,
Right.
so that we have some kind of baseline data, so that when we do start doing recharge here, we can have a good understanding of how effective and impactful our work
Oh, right. Before and after.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this well up here just monitors kind of a more regional groundwater level.
Uh-huh.
Whatever we do on this property is not likely going to affect the water levels in this well. But we want the downstream effects
Oh,
to really have an impact on the river.
I see. How far downstream, like Bellamine, that far,
No,
or?
no, just downstream of Park Canyon, man.
Oh, okay.
It's an 1,800 acre property.
Yeah,
So
right,
that's pretty
I
far.
didn't know.
So we're upstream really down. So sheep flow. Actually, we are walking in Ramsey Wash.
Yeah.
Really?
This is essentially the Ramsey Canyon drainage right
Oh
here.
my God! You guys want to Google Ramsey Canyon, just like it sounds spelled, or Car with 2 R's, Canyon. You'll see how beautiful those are up in the Huachucas, and we're actually in that canyon right now.
Yeah, so when the water gets down to here in the valley,
Yeah.
it spreads out. And back in the 40s, there was so much flow going through this ranch, causing head cutting and erosion, that they built this giant berm across the entire ranch and a drop structure a little further west, excuse me, a little
As a
further
catchment?
east. Well, it's not a catchment, no, it's kind of like a dam.
Oh, to slow it down.
But yeah, so what they were trying to do is stem some head cutting that was migrating westward.
Oh, right.
And so they put in this kind of concrete pad and slope, it's called a drop structure, that gave the water a solid place to flow down to the confluence of the park.
Wow. So there was that much difference in flow. Now,
Yeah.
I
for the
mean,
40s.
you remember 30 years ago when there was so much more water, rainfall.
Oh yeah.
You know, as you know, I lived across from the waterfall for 20 years,
Right.
and that used to flow all summer.
Yeah. Back when you had that beehive in your house.
Oh,
And
my
you had-
God,
you
we
had
go back a
glass.
long way. Oh my God. So I actually had back in the day. I got, and who did I get that from? Judy and red-haired Judy and what's her boyfriend's name? They had that out at the ranch. It was a cabinet.
Andrew.
Yes,
Judy and Andrew.
right. Judy, old friends. Here we go again. It's more like family here. And it was a big cabinet, like you'd have up on your in your kitchen or something. Anyway, open it up, full of beehive, meaner than shit. And there was a stack of books in there, and some roller skates, and like a box of pecans that the rats had brought in. And so I
An old
picked.
boot in there, too?
Huh?
Was there an old cowboy boot in there?
Yeah, there was an old cowboy boot in there. I got pictures of that somewhere. That was like before video, before indoor plumbing, all that kind of thing. And so I was alive, and so I wanted to have a live hive, live from the hive, literally a live hive, in the house. So what I did was, more making shit up, I took it out. It was a big thing. It was about this by this deep. And so I took it out and I had it out at the ranch, and they were so mean. But I got 2 big pieces of plexiglass. I put one on the front, so if you opened the doors, there was plexi and you could see the whole comb and everything. And then I can't believe Mark remembers that, it's amazing. And then I had a piece of plexi on the back, and I had a 1-inch hole in the plexi with a 1-inch clear tube going out through a window at a part of the ranch that you never went to, right? And for, what did I have that, 4 or 5 years? That was something like that. And I watched that hive like television. I mean, I spent hours, of course, observing every aspect of life in a hive.
Hippie TV.
Yeah,
It's hippie TV.
yeah, right. Hippie TV.
Hey, how far back is this?
Huh?
How far are we going here?
Oh, 20, 30 miles.
Well, we got your vest sitting
Oh,
on the
well,
truck.
we got to go back and get equipment anyway.
Right.
It's right here where this long pole.
Okay.
So, Ocean's like, well, how far? Did we bring lunch?
Yeah, just down by the river.
Did we bring it down by the riverside? So I would watch them hanging like chainmail, very still, and making wax out of their abdomens. I would watch them carrying their dead out. I mean, I learned the inner workings of the hive by sitting there and staring at it going, you gotta be kidding me. Being born, queens being born, swarming, the whole 9 yards. It was so fascinating. You know, not for harvesting honey or anything like that, just BTV. It was Biz BTV. And, oh, here we go. Is that it? Oh boy. Well, the lid's back on, so that's good. And I ain't taking it off yet.
He said he saw them going in through this chain hole, you know, where the
Oh, that
chains
makes
connect.
sense. Yeah, that makes
So he
sense.
taped it up.
Oh, he taped it up. Well, that is actually may have made it halfway there, but of course we won't know until we take it off. I mean, actually, good news for safety's sake is there's no activity. That might have been their only door.
So they might have gone.
It might be that there's bees in there going, yeah, go ahead and take the lid off. Go ahead.
Yeah, but there's a. You can see there's a gap. They can get in there.
Oh yeah. So it's very curious as to why they're not right now, but we aren't going to test the waters because we never know.
Yeah.
We know one thing that I did learn this last year, after 30 years of doing this, Mark, was because we've had hives like this where we'll get to them, there's no activity on a hot day, and then we take the lid up and all of a sudden it all blows up.
Yeah.
It made me realize that when it's hot out, their homes are made of wax.
And they melt.
Make melt. And so to keep them, it's all hands on deck fanning.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether it's cold out and they're keeping it warm or hot out and they're keeping it cool,
Yeah.
all hands on deck fanning each cell so that their nursery doesn't melt and kill babies, so that their home doesn't melt.
Yeah.
So we've seen that a lot in the last couple of months with the hottest year ever, all that good stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so we, of course, won't know until we get in here. The pictures that you sent, well, there's comb in there, and there were bees in there, and you know.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, these types of situations, wellheads, we do them all the time. You guys see us doing them all the time. You can't use any poison, you know, all that kind of thing. It's a wellhead.
Mm-hmm.
What we do use is if there's a bunch of activity out here, we're not so worried about it because we don't use product if we don't need to.
Mm-hmm.
Spray adhesive. You've seen us use that before to knock them down in the air. Non-toxic spray adhesive. Another thing that we use. Oh, there's one right now. Another thing that we use is a pheromone that beekeepers use. Now, pheromones are just smells, as you know.
Right.
So I want to explain this to Mark and everybody else. Pheromones, and you guys have seen us use these before. This is a pheromone that some beekeeper came up with, I don't know, 100 years ago or something, that is used for beekeepers when you're pulling honey frames off of the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you're doing that, you don't want bees in those frames because it's a pain in the ass when you get them back to the honey house.
Mm-hmm.
So he developed this stuff that is food grade, smells like almonds, smells like marzipan. Oh darn. We have a highly concentrated type of it, actually. It's so concentrated that it's a formulation that is still food grade and everything, but it's really concentrated and will burn your skin and stuff like that. But so diluted, you could drink it, you know. So we use it in concentrated form. So how he came up with this idea was, on the instructions, it says, take your top board off your hive, flip it over, put one drop on, and flip it back over, and it'll drive the bees out of that out of that box into the next box. So you can pull it off and no bees. Awesome. It says right below that, warning, if you put too much on, it'll drive them out of the hive. And I went, duh, squirt, 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 glug, 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 glug. And so it's expensive AF, but it's worth it because with a situation like this, we can make this, because this has got a 2-year guarantee on it, that they won't come back here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the reason we have to do that is where they have built comb in there. It smells good. It soaks into the metal, the rust. It soaks into wood, concrete, whatever it is. The pheromones, other pheromones, of course, and they smell great to all concerned. But it smells great to future swarms flying by. So we don't permanently seal, of course, anything.
Mhm.
You know,
Okay.
temporary seals, but we still make sure have different tricks up our sleeve, like the pheromones, to make sure new swarms don't come in.
Because they're repelled by that smell.
They
Then.
hate it.
Oh, we love it. They hate it.
Exactly.
Huh.
Smells like marzipan. Old dabble, do ya? You know. So yeah, we're gonna make this as uneventful as possible. Doesn't mean anything. We're gonna try.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Mark's an old friend. He's known me for so many years and seen me through all the phases of the business and everything, and so he knows we'll try.
Right.
We have no control over those little bastards once that lid comes off. Who knows? We're gonna find out. So we scrape it down. It's a very simple process, of course, as you know. Very
Mhm.
straightforward for us.
Okay.
Deadly for anyone else.
Okay.
Just how as life should be.
Right.
Anyway.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you get paid the big bucks.
That exactly. Is that what it is? Since when? Where? Wait, you got a different letter than I did.
Hey, your shirt's looking pretty good. Yeah.
Thrift store been good to me.
Yeah. Right.
I can afford detergent now. Anyway. Anyway. All right. Well, we're gonna hike back. Let's go, you guys. We're gonna hike back. Have we got a few people with us?
Yeah.
We got the whole family.
I think so.
I think so.
I can't really see this.
Oh yeah,
screen.
the glare of our stunning personality.
That's what
Oh,
it
the
is.
sun's up too.
Oh yeah.
So we're heading back. We'll follow the flags.
Yeah.
Gonna have to tie some rope. All right.
Leave the
So
breadcrumb.
breadcrumbs. Yeah, the ants will get them before we do anything. So I'm definitely getting a cooling vest on. That's for damn sure. Yeah, and we have that pole to go by, of course. So
Right.
all right, Killer Bee Nation. Well, here we go. We're gonna follow him out, of course. So I'm gonna take a chance to thank everyone who has joined on YouTube, become a member of the Hive. Thank you so much. It helps with our day-to-day ops so much. Oh my God. Because all of this isn't cheap, and you know, there's a lot of folks in this county. It's a very rural, very poor county, and we just don't charge everyone, but we try to. But we also have to make it so people can live here without getting killed. And also, like we always say, if your neighbor has bees, you have bees, because they don't know fences and boundaries. And as you all know, in Killer Bee Nation land, they're all Africanized in the state of Arizona. These guys will bite the shit out of you too. These ants.
Yeah.
Oh, look, driftwood.
Harvest.
Harvest ants.
Yeah.
They'll harvest your cells. They'll harvest your blood. God.
Well, they come harvest ants because they clear that space around their holes
Yeah.
and take all the rocks away and vegetation. So
And aren't
I
they
think
the
that's
ones
probably-
that build the labyrinth underneath,
Oh yeah.
like in a complete labyrinth?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fascinating stuff.
You ever seen that guy? I can't remember where I saw this, but they pour molten metal.
Oh yes, I did
Down
see
into-
that. And then pulled the whole thing. Uh-oh. Hello. Anyway.
Yeah, and then they pull it out of the ground and see how.
Yeah. And then they pull it out, and it's like this huge
Yeah.
sculpture
Yeah.
of tunnels and one that made of, you know, whatever they, you know, pour the metal in there.
Yeah.
And all the rooms and whatnot is fascinating. These, you know, these ants, everything. Well, you have to remember though, we live in the high desert. If it doesn't bite you, sting you, or stab you, you ain't home.
Yeah.
Because it will. You know, I got stung by a bark scorpion.
Here it is. This is Ramsey Creek right there.
Well, let's take a dip. I brought the poles so we can catch some San Pedro salmon in there. So I actually got stung by a bark scorpion in the thumb the other morning.
Oh no.
Like a couple of weeks ago.
Oh.
It's the only reason I'm not in tears still. You've been stung by them.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Dozen times.
I don't like them.
No, I don't.
No, it's evil pain. So anyway,
My wife got bit.
Huh?
Stung by a scorpion at night. She's been hit a couple of times, but she
Candy?
got one on. Yeah, Candy got one on her eyelid years ago.
oh no!
At night, but I can't believe how well she handled it.
Oh my God, she's got a higher level of tolerance of pain than I would.
Well, normally she doesn't.
Oh
But in this particular instance, I was shocked.
Maybe she's
at
just
how
in
well she handled
shock.
it.
Stung by bark. Okay, bark scorpions are about this big.
Well, I don't know if it was a bark scorpion per se.
It's about all we have here, isn't it?
Well, I'm not sure.
Yeah?
A couple of different species.
Oh my God.
And conversely, she had another one on her ankle, and that pain didn't abate for a long time.
Oh my God, the pain, and then usually, for me, of course, I'm a dumbass, so it's on the fingertips when I'm not wearing gloves, you know. And then my fingertip will go numb for after the intense pain stops. And as I've gotten older, I've become highly allergic to pain and poverty. And actually, I've modified the poverty to just being uncomfortable. So anyway, well, thanks for sticking with us, everybody. Nice walk in the desert, beautiful morning. A little warm out. I'm putting on a cooling vest, that's for sure.
I think I'm gonna take mine off.
Oh, is it warm? Right.
Well, it's gotten warm.
It's gotten warm. It melted. Well, who knew we were gonna go hiking in the back 40? But that's all right. It's not that bad. About half a mile back there.
Yeah.
Quarter mile.
Yeah, he said. Yeah, Superman said. So we're gonna go back and pop the lid on that thing. So we're gonna need. Oh, let's see. Is that lid just resting on there?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I noticed that the lock was off to the side, so.
Yeah, I did see that. Like so. So no pry bars, I don't think.
No.
So all we're gonna really need, Hosh, is a scraper, maybe a bucket to put stuff in, because there was comb.
Yeah.
Maybe we may as well bring a spray adhesive and the pheromones, and that's about it.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
that's about it. So, well, beautiful walk in the morning in the desert, and we do a lot of this. If anyone wants to Google where we are, just put in north, east, south, and west of Bumfuck, and that'll pinpoint, right?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I had no idea this is the confluence of Carr and Ramsey. That's so cool. Are you gonna?
Hey everybody, thanks for being with us.
And you're gonna, huh? No. I know that's I said bumper. And so you're just gonna hang until. Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, you will. Do you have binocular? Well, good. We'll have the camera.
So we lost TikTok. It overheated.
Because we were doing acts of bravery.
No, the phone just overheated.
Oh, okay.
It's
Say la vie.
yeah.
Say la
So
vie.
we're here with YouTube though.
All right. Well, we're. I think I'm gonna bring a flashlight.
Yeah.
And are any of those cooling vests colder than any others?
Well, this one hadn't been worn. See, I heated mine up.
This one hasn't been worn.
Right.
Oh,
But we could do. We've got that. We've got frozen water.
Oh, I'm gonna stick a couple in my
You wanna
pocket.
just do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. All right, Killer Bee Nation, stick with us. We are getting ready to go.
So you want to tell them about yesterday?
Oh my God, as much as I can.
Yeah.
So we were on a top secret location yesterday. We cannot disclose where we were.
Another.
I'll tell you exactly where we were. We were east of the Pacific Ocean and west of the Mississippi and north and south of 2 international borders. So that narrows it down. We were in the desert southwest on a secret location. And we got there, and this place was about a 2 or 3 acre fenced in area. Yeah, if you've got a couple of waters, frozen waters, that'd be awesome. Oh yeah, that's good. These frozen waters work about as good, actually. I just put them in my pockets in there. And then I will have a couple more for the bee suit. Is the bee suit back there? All right. Really will cool you down. So, because the cooling vests didn't get put in the freezer, but they will tonight.
They don't freeze if they're not in the freezer.
They don't freeze if they're not in the freezer. So hold tight. So yesterday we encountered quite the infestation in the middle of nowhere. Very scary stuff. And we're going to be going back. We can tell you guys about it, but we can't. It's kind of like that incident the other day where we were on briefly. We do a lot of work where we can't bring you along. We can't disclose where we are. And that's why we, if we're in a location where we're in the middle of bumfuck. Okay, so that's how that is. But we just want everybody to know, as you know, that, these Africanized bees are a serious problem. And they are becoming more and more of a problem all over the country. We're getting reports of attacks every day. Of course, you guys sending us, Lee and Mel and Don and all the whole family, and people are sending us a lot of reports now because it really helps us, because otherwise we don't know. It's in your neck of the woods and it stays local. That news stays local, doesn't go national anymore. You'd think that killer bees would be more national news. They're not. It's a pain in the ass. Do you have another frozen water or two? Yep. Thank you. Yeah, and you have more in there, I trust. Oh, good. All right. Well, frozen water. And because it really does help cool things down, like me. So these bees are not going to go away. And now we're getting reports of them being in Central Europe. I've got to be more clear on what's going on with that. I'm just not too clear on with Africanized bees being in Central Europe. There's news reports of that, and it's not good. Just see, do we have big blues? Actually, yeah, big blues are in here somewhere. I don't know if I left mine out there or what I did with them.
Well, I put yesterday.
Oh, there we go.
I don't know if this is all four.
Put them up there. Actually, can we grab a jar of honey for, you know who? Oh, and you know what? We got a jar of honey from Mark, so let's go give him that. Bring them in. All right, so I forgot your birthday last year, and I've felt horrible about it, Mark. I've just felt horrible about it. So here's your jar of honey.
Thank you, buddy.
Oh, of course. And I've been laying awake nights, and I meant to call.
Thanks, man.
Oh, of course.
Thanks, man. I can't wait to put this on my toast.
Oh, yeah. Is that what they're calling it now? All right, already. We're gonna. Well, you know a guy. We know where to get more.
Yeah.
All right.
So all these phones are off except for YouTube.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Even the capture?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not out. And you know, of course, everyone's been trying to send us cooling devices. Unfortunately,
I want to take them off.
yeah, okay. Unfortunately, they're not durable enough. We're kind of rough on stuff, and so most of the cooling devices for phones are made. Did you want to grab the camera?
I want to get. I kind of like the handles.
Oh yeah, I like the handles too. The cooling devices, and thank you so much. We've really tried, and you know, some of them you have to have them plugged in.
Yeah, they're just not.
The other way.
They're just not up to speed.
No, they're not. They're not up to speed, and well, they're not durable
I
enough.
just think the tech doesn't exist.
The tech doesn't exist for us. Does that surprise you? All right, so we're gonna hand that now. Pheromone. That's about all we're missing here.
Yep.
I think.
Yep.
Pheromone and marbles. All right, Killer Bee Nation. So, people are sending us. Please keep sending us these notifications from around the country. I do have the other flashlight that we used
okay.
yesterday. I think I'm going to take that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Send us news articles from your neck of the woods about bee attacks, please, because we're trying to, you know, put together some more information, comprehensive information about attacks around the country, because they're on the increase and it's not going to go away. It's a pain in the ass. So it really sucks, actually, because they are everywhere. And now we have new reports of did you hear about this?
Lee was saying an attack in India.
In India.
That's what he said. He just said.
Oh, wow. I didn't see that one. Did you send that to me, Lee? I don't know. We had a long day yesterday, so when I got back to the ranch, I was more like, I'm going to go to bed now. Wow. Interesting stuff. In India. Africanized bees in India. Man, that's horrifying, actually. But there's a new invasive species. Wonderful, right? And it's I don't think it's even a cousin, but of course the media is hyping it up as a cousin of the murder hornet. Now, they're not that big. They're called a yellow leg hornet. And they've been found in Georgia. A beekeeper there found them, and they are hell on beehives. Honey beehives, which, of course, you know us, we don't care. Because honeybees are invasive to the Western Hemisphere. So we just don't care. But they're also horrible on native pollinators. That's an issue. That's not good. So let's see how we doing, host. We got some pheromone going on. Right on. So it's, you know, you never know what we're going to encounter next. Invasive species are a royal problem, of course. We don't like them. We hate them. They're everywhere. And we Yeah, we just gotta we gotta get rid of the romance around invasive species, because honeybees, for instance, are a prime example of a romance around an invasive species. Right here, hi. Okay, everything's fine. Jesus, God, lean your elbow somewhere. So, all right, getting ready here, guys. We're gonna go back and do work. We're gonna go back and do it.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Mark's asking if he can wear a suit.
You know, let's put one on him.
Yeah.
We got one here. We got one that's purdy. God, I was hoping for some good, you know, film action running. Anyway, yeah, sure, Mark, that's a good idea. So get Mark in a bee suit too, because, you know, it's the best idea.
Ooh, that smells like marzipan. I can smell it on this suit.
Smells like marzipan. The whole air is, yeah, it's saturated with it. It's
Probably a bin too.
I think so. In case, guys, we got to scrape that comb out of there, and if there's any honey, of course, it's been untouched forever and ever. Amen. So, you know how those work, don't you?
Bees?
Yeah.
No,
Okay. Well, it's a jumpsuit.
but I can probably figure it out.
Yeah, it's not a rocket science thing. It's a bee science thing. Oh boy.
It's
And
not rocket surgery.
no, not rock. Wait a minute. Not
Mixed metaphors.
Not rocket science surgery. Oh my God, that was adorable actually. So now remember, these have two zippers, one up and one down.
Oh yeah.
So there you go. And then these have two zippers also. We're gonna go all the way around here. These are also Velcro, and so it's like a real safety suit actually. Kind of like a hazmat cross with good fashion.
You know, it's surprisingly cool.
Amazingly, and you know what I love about these suits, and there's if you'll notice my Blue Water Cafe patch here.
Yeah.
All right, so there's this company up on the north shore of Lake Superior, restaurant called the Blue Water Cafe. They're friends of ours, and they're in Grand Marais.
Oh.
Yeah, and they have a restaurant up there, and they've been out to visit actually here in Bisbee.
Huh.
And
I have to put this on just yet, right?
yeah, no, but now you know how.
Now I know how to do it.
Yep. So they came out and they called us last winter and said, you know, if we bought you guys new bee suits and had these nice patches made, would you put them on? I said,
Oh, yeah.
of course
I
I
was
would.
wondering about that.
Yeah, Blue Water Cafe. Durr.
Nice,
So if you're
cool.
ever in Grand Marais,
Yeah.
and so thing I like about these, besides they're multi-layer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard for the bees to sting through unless they get stuck to your skin from sweat or moisture or whatever. And also, they're porous. They
Yeah.
breathe.
Yeah. That's what I was noticing.
So if we only had a breeze,
Yeah.
you
Right.
know, if I
feel
only had a breeze. Do we have a putty knife? We do, don't
Yeah.
we? All right, guys, let's go take care of this business. All right. Did you bring the quad? Anyway, so we're gonna go back now. And,
Just want to make sure
Scooter.
we got everything we're
Big
gonna need
scooter.
here.
oh yeah, we can take
Get a
the
bee
scooter out.
scooter.
I think just spray adhesive. I've got that flashlight I like. I got a tactical.
Okay.
All right, let's go and see what we got going on, Killer Bee Nation. Let's go hiking. Okay, again. Hi ho, it's off the bees we go. All right, follow the orange tape to hell with the yellow brick road. So everyone has we don't call it ASMR, we call it BSMR.
Yeah.
So we give everybody a minute just to appreciate the ambience.
Yeah.
Okay, enough of that shit. No.
ASMR. What's that?
ASMR, it's like this, where people, oh my God, I don't understand it personally, but it's where people will whisper sweet nothings and or brush their hair, and that's the only sound, and people will watch it for hours. Yeah, he's of the same mind that I am. America's like,
Well, too much time on it.
too much time on their hands. They should pick up knitting or fishing or conservation or some damn thing. Anyway, and it's a big thing, and I don't know why. I don't understand a lot of things in life, of course, but we call it BSMR because we'll do that, but we'll have the camera in the middle of a beehive with angry bees flying all over.
Yeah. Nice, quiet, soothing sound.
With our screams in the back.
Yeah.
Oh my God, EpiPen. So I can't wait to see what we got going on here, guys. This is going to be interesting.
I didn't realize that Jeff, our consultant, I asked him to go check on the bees, and I thought they were open.
Right.
That the well was open, and he might have had to open it.
Well, to get that picture he had.
Yeah, he did. And he put the lid back on.
Yeah.
Could have handed it to him.
Well,
But he doesn't know what he's
doesn't
getting
know.
into.
Yeah, he
If he knew, he wouldn't have done it.
Oh no, he knew there were bees in there.
Yeah.
And
But you too
he
far
was
to.
taking a picture of the hive. This is the last time he was out to visit,
Oh,
and 3 months ago, and
so it was there then.
I think so.
Oh boy.
I
So,
finally found out about this yesterday.
so I could go. Who knows how far down in it goes? This will be interesting. How deep is this well?
Boy, got me there.
6 or?
No, probably 300, something like that.
Oh, okay. All right. And of course, down here on the river, if you're doing it for private, you don't need to go anywhere near that deep.
Right.
But for what you guys are doing, of course.
Yeah, well, we're not down into we're not in the alluvial floodplain.
Right. Right. All right. Well, we're gonna go throw our nets on and make quick work of this, guys. We have a big one coming up Saturday. I want to tell everybody about. Don Shar from Pennsylvania is on the road right now, driving out here. He has a bucket list. He's a friend of ours and friend of the hive, and he has a bucket list, and that's to get in a bee suit and go on a killer bee removal. So this is really cool. Right across the street from Hosh is an old friend of mine, Alondra, and a neighbor of Hosh's now, and right across the street. And she has a bee tree, old hive. So we're gonna suit Don up and hope he brought a case of Depends. And we're gonna get him in there in the action. And we gotta warn the neighbor and make sure that, you know, all the dogs are put in and all that, because this could light up. This could really be something really outrageous.
Alondra and Jim.
Huh?
Alondra and Jim over in Saginaw.
It's actually, well, what happened in Saginaw?
Well, you said Alondra. doesn't
No, no,
it? Saginaw?
No, not that
Yolanda.
one. You mean Alondra Mello.
Yeah.
No,
Yolanda.
oh, Yolanda. Jeez,
Yeah.
madre. My Spanish is, where are we here?
We're going right over here.
You think we are. So, yeah, so these bees in this tree, it's down in, off of Granada, down in that area, off of Knuckle Highway. So, Don is on the road right now, and I told him the last thing, did I ever tell you that, Mark, that the last thing on my bucket list is to kick it?
Kick the bucket.
Yep. Because I've already done everything else.
Yeah. Well, you know, the other one is there's just always replace the bee and bucket with an extra switch.
Oh, the philosopher. I love that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Gee, what do you get done? Oh my God. Yeah, that's how you pick the last one. Right? Well, it is busy and we are artists, so I've replaced it with a PA. All right, we're approaching the scene of the future crime.
See how they cleared the whole.
Yeah, look at these harvester ants. They just make a landing pad for aliens. I knew it. And there'll be like millions of them down there, right? Wow. We like that kind of thing. All right, Killer Bee Nation, let's go get our nets on and do this right. I think it's the first time you've ever been in a suit with us.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my gosh, after all these years. My God. We can't let
But I've
that...
been with you vicariously other times.
Vicariously, yes. Peeking in the windows is what he means.
That's right. Or staring at that one in your house.
Oh yes, yeah. Everybody was so intrigued. What was I? Boy, oh boy, they
We had
finally...
a party up there one time. I remember you had a great party up there.
Oh, I
Got
used to have
see it.
big parties up there. My
Yeah.
God, back in the 80s, we had, oh my God almighty, it seemed like I can't believe we're still alive, to be honest with you. The parties we used to have in Old Bisbee, holy crap.
Can I get this?
Huh?
Can I get this?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, Coach wants to put his net on. I don't know, should we let him? All right, I am curious. Very, as a matter of fact. So he put a little bit of tape on this thing, but theirs didn't do much. we'll let Hosh get suited up. We got everybody looking good. Well, you know what they say about guys in bee suits? Seen one, seen them all. All right. Let's see what we have here, guys. And, oh yeah, I see something down there.
That's the pod right there.
The pod. Wow. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get out the light. Woo!
No, you got bees.
We got, oh yeah, there's bees. Oh, that's a hive. That's a hive. I'm not dropping my
Yeah,
thing
full
down there.
on. It's a hive. Hello. Hello.
Oh my God. Now it's hot. You can see how it's melted against the side of this.
Mm.
Oh, here they come. So they know we're here now. You see that down on the bottom where they are? They're all clumped up down at the bottom.
Yeah. Because it's cooler down
Yep. Yeah, there's tens of thousands of bees in there. And you know, they could have stayed in here with that lid on forever, which they wanted to, because of the cool coming up from the water. It's like the biggest swamp cooler in the world. Look at that, everyone. That is Africanized beehive. And like I was saying before, they're not coming out and attacking right now. They're not going to like us in a minute because they are fanning. They're busy trying to cool the hive down. It's too hot for them to do out here. I mean, there's still insects, okay? But we're going to get out the putty. We're going to have to reach in. Some of this is going to drop down into the water. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
And it's no big deal. It's all natural. It's beeswax. That is a little deep to reach in, isn't it?
I can get a lot of it,
Yeah?
and
All right. Well, I'm going to let you
I mean,
think about
theoretically,
that.
you know,
Let's-
I can climb down in there.
Oh, yeah. Well, that. Let me get the camera. Let me hold the camera for sure.
Little rope ladder out and hook it on the edge of the well.
Right, rappel down in.
Rappel. Make sure that phone doesn't drop. Oh, no, one's facing the right way. Can you actually see it in there without the light?
A little bit,
Yeah.
not much.
How's that?
That's better.
How's that? Oh, get mood lighting.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna get to it, guys. I gotta get my big blues on, and this thing is 3,000 lumens. So the
You want me to hold this?
that would be
Sure.
awesome.
You guys
Yeah.
work?
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
So meet the new member of the crew, the retirement plan.
Oh, they're getting a little active.
Here they come. It's gonna get interesting here, and it's fun that you're here, Mark, because it's a completely different thing to watch it on vid as to be in the middle of it.
Yeah. Running away, scared.
Be sure to hand the camera to someone.
You know, when I'm sitting home watching it on TV, I could just laugh. But
Right. And now in person, he's like, I don't know if this is a good idea or not. All right, so Hosh is
Dry.
dry. Well, okay, what happens when there was probably honey in here a week ago before the guy came? When they get distressed, and this is why we used to use smoke with bees. Is there any brood or anything yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Why we used to use smoke was when bees smell smoke, say a forest fire, it used to work with them because European bees, when they'd smell smoke, they would gorge themselves on honey in case they could leave. They would not go down with the ship if they have a choice. And you see, that's older comb though. See how dark it is? And so that's the same thing when they get stressed, like the guy flipped the lid off and left it off for a while. They got stressed. There's nectar in here. You can see the shiny. Oh boy, here we go. And there's queen cells
Did you hear
also.
that?
Oh
Yeah.
boy, do I hear that.
Well, a bunch of it, I think, fell.
Well, I expected
Into the
that
depths.
actually. Here's queen cells. This has been here a while. There's a nice queen cell right there. So this darker comb is older because when they first make it, it's actually white as your suit, Mark, not ours, because ours are older. It's light like this. All right. Now, so yeah, these guys are not nice. I'm glad that the guy didn't get hurt. It's actually white, and then as they use it, each one of these is a canning jar for bees. Each one of these cells. And so they use it over and over and over again, and it literally gets stained. But back to why this is empty. When they get disturbed, they gorge themselves on honey. Well, when he flipped the lid off that and then went away, they thought, well, the lid's off, there's a problem here. And they gorged themselves on their own honey in case they had to leave.
Gotta leave.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, in case they had to abscond. And so that's why this is not full of honey, which it would be normally. Very hard to harvest in this heat without it going to mush.
A lot of them drop down into the water.
Oh, I totally believe that. Yep. Yep. And a lot of the bees too, of course.
Yeah.
So of course, any bees that are down wherever the water level is, what 50 feet or 75 or something,
That's it.
they're gonna drown. So okay, let's take a look in there. You want to bring that over, Mark? And we'll take a look. I'm gonna get this light on high here. Hold on. There we go. So you see how he cleaned that up? So
Oh, yeah.
all those skeletons that you see in there, that's what we call them, the skeletons, where they were attached. Well, there's no way to get that off. So that is what we spray the pheromone on,
Okay.
because that will soak into, in fact, we'll spritz it all the way around. Food grade, awesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
And smells like marzipan, even better. And will soak into the rust and the metal, and will make this extremely unattractive for a very long time. And then we'll put the lid back on also. So
Yeah.
let's back up a little bit so we don't get any mist. I got a
On
tiny,
us too. It really burns the skin.
really burns. I got a drop of that in my eye one time, and I thought I was gonna die. But you know, you wash it out, and 10 seconds later, you think you're a pussy. but you're not. At least that's what I tell myself. That's what the guy in the mirror tells me. So honestly, Mark, this is a really good introduction to an Africanized hive removal, because they didn't try to kill you.
Yeah.
It really is. It lets you realize, you know, like Hosh first said when he first got in the suit a few years ago, you have to trust your suit.
Yeah.
You got to trust your equipment.
Hey, you're getting some feedback here. I can't read it though without my
Oh
glasses.
yeah. Yeah. No. The screen. It's really hard to read too in the light.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can't answer questions right now.
Yeah, we're not
Gary.
answering, but go ahead and comment. We'll catch them later, as you guys know.
Yeah.
So I would, let's see.
Sprayed it down pretty well.
Yeah. Did you spritz any around that entrance? Around this out here?
No, I didn't.
Okay, let's do that. And that should, you know what else I'd like to do is stuff a little steel wool in there.
I figured.
Because steel wool is it's a temporary fix, but like I said, we ain't gonna weld a plate over that or anything like that. That's up to whoever is in charge of this thing, Mark.
Yeah.
However they fix it permanently, even with home situations. Man, it smells like marzipan. Even with home situations, we don't do permanent fixes.
Mm-hmm.
That's up to the homeowner. We
Right.
mitigate the threat and get rid of the problem so they can do their repairs,
Right.
which never happens. So,
Well, we need access to the well
oh,
for
there's
for quarterly monitoring.
no choice. Yeah, no choice. Yeah, these things. And now the thing about these guys is he's very lucky. They didn't blow up right now. Means nothing. Means absolutely nothing as far as genetics go, as far as what they are. Because I think, as you know, we used to send samples of the bees in the early 90s that we would get for testing up to the labs in Tucson.
Yeah.
Testing a percentage of Africanization, because everybody's like, what the hell's going on here, right?
Mm-hmm.
In 98, they called everyone up. Myself, all the beekeepers, you know, Old Man Morin, Tom Morin, all the guys that had bees, plus anybody that was doing any kind of bee removal, which was unheard of before this.
Right.
And told everybody, don't send anymore. They're all Africanized.
Yeah.
That was back in 98 when that big incident happened up the gulch.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
Mm-hmm.
And so they're all Africanized. Genetically, they're Africanized. So not every Rottweiler behaves the same. But the problem with these guys is, and I say this on all removals, is an Africanized hive is a bomb, a huge bomb with a very short fuse, and you do not know what's going to light it.
Yeah.
It can be the color of your shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Everything can be fine for days, weeks, months, even years, but you are playing with the devil.
Yeah.
It is Russian roulette. And at some point they're going to go off and then pull a Dan Oldfield or something. You know, I keep going back to Dan because he was a good friend of ours.
Yeah.
And it was totally unnecessary what happened. He got killed by these damn things, and totally unnecessary. And he had a bee suit in the garage. Did I ever tell you that? And so, you remember Chris Hill. He was a blacksmith in the 80s in Bisbee.
Yeah. No, I wasn't in Bisbee till the late '90s.
Oh, okay, all right. And so, it just seems like forever.
I know.
So, anyway, he was the one that called me up and said it was a ball of bees hanging in the back of Dan's place there. There was a swarm. It wasn't even these guys. So what's going to happen now? You can see them kind of gathering up. I have no idea why they're gathering up down there. It makes no sense. All the bees that were out in the field And there were some, even though it may have looked like there weren't, but when it's really hot, most of them are on deck. Some of them have to go out for drinks and half or whatever. They're going to come back, and this is doors closed. They're not going to want to go in here at all because now this smells like almonds baking, and they absolutely hate it. It's not the almond part they hate, that's for us. It's the chemical composition of that, whatever it is, the pheromone. So they're going to come back, and obviously they might ball up here. It'll get too hot. They'll ball up on the tree. It'll be a ball about like this, but they are like an amputated limb. They, you can live without your finger, but your finger can't live without you. So they will die off like individual cells of an organism over the coming days. If it rains, then it's over. They'll drown. If there is any crack or anything in here, they're not going to go in because of that pheromone. They can't go in their original front door. Okay? So, given the temperament of this particular hive, these guys are not a threat. Now, of course, if we were an apartment complex, we'd have caution tape up, and we'd have, you know, be telling people to get back in their rooms and shit, you know. But this is really ideal to do something like this out here. Like individual cells of an organism, they're going to die off. And of course, as you know, Mark, the honeymoon is over with honeybees because they are an invasive species to the Western Hemisphere. And it's Africanized. It didn't used to be an issue because the European honeybee is not as competitive for food source and housing as the Africanized. And I'm not talking with us, I'm talking with native pollinators. These Africanized bees will kill native pollinators on flowers to get the nectar. They are horrible, absolutely horrible. So like we tell everyone...
And these ones especially are horrible.
Oh, I know. They're horrible. I can tell just from how they woke up this morning.
They're passive aggressive.
Passive aggressive. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my God. No. They're putting the bee
They're
back
emotionally
they're
manipulating
putting
us.
the bee back in bipolar.
Yes.
Did I ever tell you that? The Bisbee is the last great outdoor refuge of bipolar bears. So, these guys are absolutely horrible for native pollinators. They do not belong here. And it's become only in the forefront, and why we've been teaching it so strenuously now, is with European bees, we didn't even know or care because they were not as bad on native pollinators as these guys are. These guys are Vikings. And they do not work well with our native plants, as you probably know. They like buzz pollination. You know what that is, where a bumblebee will go and vibrate at a certain hertz to get the flower to react and open up, and so its pollen can be released. And of course the lure is the nectar, and then that bumblebee can go a ways away and pollinate the next flower. Well, that's fine, they'll go quite a ways away. These guys will stay in a very small radius, and you end up with inbred plants. So Africanized bees are horrible all the way around. Just because they're behaving this way right now means absolutely nothing. They could, even these guys in 1 second could blow up. And of course we're in bee suits and, you know, have our tights on. I wore mine, did you?
It's meaningless behavior.
Yeah, it means nothing. It means nothing. So like an amputated limb, these guys cannot go find another hive to live with because every hive is an enemy of every other hive. The only reason they visit each other is to steal honey again. So in a 3-mile radius, all the beehives know about each other. It's like a homeowners association from hell. And so neighboring hives know this is here. So once these guys are dead, you're still going to have bees farting around. They're called robber bees. These are remnants because they're from this hive. Robbers are from other hives. So robber bees, though, are like bees on flowers. They don't care about us or anything else. They just want to find a source of nectar and get it and go home. It's when you get too close to their single wide that issues can happen.
So these guys won't go off and pioneer a new hive someplace
That
else?
is another really great question, actually, and we get it all the time. Back to the analogy of the amputated limb. Okay, if your finger is amputated, you're going to live just fine. Your finger can't live without you. So any number of remnant bees, no matter how many it is, because when a hive swarms, the bees that go, the 7,000 to 10,000 bees that go with that queen are chosen by her. All right, it's not just random helter-skelter shit. But so, and the same analogy, these remnant bees, even if there was a big ball of them here, which there might be in an hour, if your finger's amputated, it can't crawl away and go start a new human. All right, same thing with these guys.
They're that dependent upon the queen.
That is correct.
And the queen went down with the comb.
Yeah. Yep.
She was in that batch of comb that dropped down in there.
Oh yeah, she
No
was right in the
question.
middle of it. Yeah, yeah. And so they cannot survive not only without the queen, but without the body as an organism.
Yeah.
these are like individual cells, and they treat each other as such. The queen's the only one that matters. So on the same analogy, if your finger's amputated, my finger can't go crawl over to you and join your body. Same thing, they cannot go join another hive.
Yeah.
Love the analogies, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Good and gruesome.
Thank you. I was working on that. I tried to go with cadavers, but I couldn't figure out how to make it work. Martin knows me too well.
Good and gruesome.
Good and gruesome.
That was
that's
a-
the other
that's a-
channel.
that's a
the
shop.
other channel.
It's a shop somewhere in Bisbee.
Yeah.
What are they?
Oh, don't
What do
give
they
anybody
sell?
ideas for
What do they
God's-
sell there at Good and Gruesome?
Good and gruesome. What do they sell there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah.
You don't.
I
Want
think it's like a butcher or a meatery or something.
Oh, good and gruesome
Yeah.
and
They
delicious.
sell shepherd's pie and
Good and gruesome. ... and delicious. The butcher. Oh my God, the neighborhood butcher. So, yeah, they'll ball up. A new hive can't move in. It's guaranteed for 2 years in this wellhead anyway. We do wellheads all the time for all the ranchers and whatnot. And yeah,
All right.
done deal.
Cool.
All right,
Well, I
guys.
appreciate it. Thanks, Louis.
Oh,
Reed,
absolutely. It's
for-
always a pleasure, buddy.
Coach, for coming out and taking care of this for us.
It's always a pleasure to see you, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to wrap it up, guys. Of course, I'm Reed Booth, Killer Bee Guy. Please go to killerbeeguy.com and get some shit, get some honey and stuff. Go do it now. We're going to be running specials for the holidays. I know we got to think about it and we got to do it. We'll make it joyous for you. Make your holiday purchasing fun anyway, and less expensive because I'm going to run some deals. So love you guys. Thank you for becoming members on YouTube. We just love you. And in a couple days, you're going to meet Don Shar. Everybody out there in Killer Bee Nation land knows Don. It's become like a family of Killer Bee Nation people here. It's just awesome. And I'd like to say thank you to my buddy Mark,
Yeah.
old
thank
family
you.
here. So we made it safe. We came to save the day. And Hosh, would you like to say a couple of words?
yeah, sure. If you got a bee pod from other worlds in your wellhead and you live in Cochise County, give us a call. We'll come out and take care of it for you. If you're anywhere else in the lower 48 states, you got to get it exterminated.
Yeah.
Don't relocate a beehive.
Nope.
Don't relocate honeybees. Don't relocate killer bees.
Nope.
They're all invasive, and you're better off just getting rid of them.
Yep, getting rid of them.
See you guys
All right,
on
guys.
the next episode.
Love you guys. We'll see you later.
So, what guys like Harry, Walter, what is he making?
Denial. Denial. The old school beekeepers hate us.